Hi, this is Scott and welcome to Raymer Rides. On today's ride, we came up to Grandfather's Mountain. It's in memory of me because I'm a grandfather. So join with me today on this ride and hearing the Word of God. Hi, this is Scott and thanks for joining me today for Raymer Rides, where I share two great passions, sharing the Word of God and going on great motorcycle rides. On today's ride, I want to continue to share on the top 10 marriage killers and what you can do to stop them from killing your marriage. On our last ride, we looked at the first two killers. The first one was overcommitment and physical exhaustion. At times we're not operating out of our strengths, but out of our reserves. We hardly even have enough for each other. The second one was financial conflict. A lot of marriages fall apart due to financial conflict. We have too much money and not enough money. A couple things that we learned is we need to learn to either make more money, which sometimes is impossible, or we need to learn to live on less. The third thing is selfishness. There's a difference in dating and marriage. In dating, we have a giving mindset, and in marriage, we have a receiving mindset. Two characteristics of maturity in marriage: are we giving or generous, and are we forgiving? The number one characteristic in a mature person is they find more satisfaction in giving than receiving. How many times that before a couple is married, they give, and give, and all they want to do is please the other person. They have an other-mindedness. But as soon as the marriage begins, all of a sudden, instead of having a giving mindset, we develop a receiving mindset. The fourth is immaturity. A husband was talking to his counselor, and he said, basically, my wife was immature. I'd be at home in the bath, and she'd come in and sink my boats. Maturity is the ability to stick with the job until it's finished, to do a job without being supervised, to be able to carry dollars without spending them, and to bear an injustice without trying to keep even. So many times a marriage falls apart because the husband and the wife lack maturity, and they're constantly demanding their rights, and they're constantly wanting to be served, and there is no giving. Marriage has never been a 50-50 proposition. It's a 100% proposition. Both individuals have to give it their best shot. People are only young once, but they can be immature for a lifetime. Number 5, it's pride. Somebody once prayed a wonderful prayer. They said, Lord, when we're wrong, make us willing to change, and when we're right, make us easy to live with. How many times have we gotten into arguments with our spouses over the issues of pride? You knew you were wrong, but it's so hard to admit it, isn't it? It's nothing new. It's been in the human family for a long time. Adam and Eve dealt with that issue. They blamed somebody else for their sin. This whole process of pride in defending ourselves and wanting to blame someone else has been around for many years. Now, men, I have to say, usually have a greater struggle with this one than most others. We hold on. We know when we're wrong, and we know we should have admitted it immediately. Isn't it true that if you don't admit it immediately, it gets harder the longer you wait, 3 days or 3 weeks later? How many problems become bigger than life? They have mounted up and have become incredible barriers in our family life and marriage just because of pride. I remember oftentimes my wife and I, we're driving somewhere and we're lost. And pride raises its ugly head in the car. I know I'm lost. My wife knows I'm lost. And she's told me that many times. And that even makes me even madder. And God knows I'm lost. And the people in their front yards, they know we're lost because they've seen us drive by 3 times. But God forbid that I would ever stop and ask somebody, how do I get somewhere? I figured that if I keep driving around in circles long enough, I'll find my way out. That's pride, and pride can cost you everything. Mark Twain once said, temper is what gets us into trouble. Pride is what keeps us in there. Number 6, lack of effective communication. Communication is the core of a successful marriage. A judge asked a woman once, "Why do you want a divorce? On what grounds?" "All over," she replied. "We have an acre and a half." "No, no," said the judge. "Do you have a grudge?" "Yes, sir. Fits 2 cars." "I need a reason for the divorce," said the judge impatiently. "Does he beat you up?" "Oh, no. I'm up at 6 every day to do my exercises. He gets up later." "Please," said the exasperated judge, "what is the reason you want a divorce?" "Oh," she replied, "we can't seem to communicate with each other."
And after that, I got more company.
That's it a lot of times with communication. You might be saying it one way, but I'm hearing it in a completely different way. So when communication breaks down, so do marriages. When marriages begin to fail, so does communication. Some different levels of communication, from the lowest to the highest. First, it's the cliche communication. It's the, "Hi, how are you?" "Fine, and how are you?" Then it's the reporting of the facts.
Just the facts, ma'am.
We talk about the things that you have to talk about, but I'm just giving you the facts. The third is discuss ideas and opinions. We talk about our likes and our dislikes. We talk about our thoughts. Number 4, our feelings and emotion. We talk about how we feel about things, what makes us happy and sad, angry or upset, our spiritual life, soulmate communication, together to not just share something, but to learn something. Number 5 is complete trust and the truth level. You don't need to hold back anything. You can be honest and transparent. It's freedom, no fear of rejection, no reservations. You've arrived. Women like to share themselves, their feelings, their thoughts, their dreams, their problems, their joys. Men in communication, they usually want to share their world, talk about where they are in their job, give advice, just go to the bottom line. Ed Cole once said, for men, they're headliners. And I find that true. Reading the newspaper, I don't care to read the articles. I don't want all the details. I just read the headlines. And it's a continual process where we all have to work to learn to communicate effectively with your spouse. On our next ride, we're going to continue and we're going to get through all top 10 of the marriage killers. Thanks for riding along with me today and hearing the rhema of God's Word. If you enjoyed this message, please click the subscribe button and the bell so you won't miss anything when I post another ride. Until next time, be blessed and ride safe.